All right, we are back with Jeff from ESP and, of course, Takamine guitars. We're going to talk about some stunning new models that are right behind us, and he knows a lot more about them than I do.
I know a thing or two.
So let's hear it, man. What are we looking at here?
So we're looking at some of the 6 new G Series guitars that we're introducing for 2025. Takamine G Series, a mass-produced guitar, still a high-quality guitar,
For sure.
and most of the Takamines that you see out there on the streets, on stages, and jam sessions are G Series guitars. They're high quality, they're affordable, and they really represent, there's not one music genre that's a Takamine thing. You can be a pop person and be Takamine, certainly big in the country market.
Yeah, amazing.
But I also want to talk about a special guitar that we have for this year right now. This is the GD21CE 12U. I know that's a mouthful.
Comes right off the tongue.
That is a mouthful. All you need to remember is the 12U, because the U stands for unison. What do I mean by that? Take a look at how this is strung, Ryan. You're an expert guitar player.
That's true.
That is not a typical 12-string setup.
No octaves, yeah.
No octaves. It's based on a style from regional Mexican music, norteña music, and there's people throughout, it's not just Mexico, it's throughout the United States, this is a very important music genre for them. Well, they've been doing this with 12 strings for many, many years, okay? Where they take a standard 12-string guitar and they string it with 2 sets of 6-string guitars.
It's a lot of pressure.
Let me just tell you that creates a little bit of a problem.
Okay.
The amount of string tension that then puts on the guitar generally creates some issues with the bridge and with the neck balance and everything else, okay? So this is the first time that Takamine has created a dedicated guitar for that. The bracing is reinforced inside the body with a much heavier, thicker bracing, and it's really designed for this. It has a real interesting sound that's very big in that kind of music. It's very growly.
Yeah.
Very,
well, it doesn't
robust.
A typical 12-string has that shimmer, almost like a natural
That's
chorusing
right.
effect, and this seems to be a different thing altogether.
It is. It's really for a different style, and they don't want that, chorusy type of thing.
Okay.
They want that bitey sound, and it's really used to represent the rhythm for that type of music. It's very emotive. It really goes well with the singing and the vocal style of that.
Okay, yeah.
So Takamine very specifically designed this thing the way that the binding and the rosette looks.
The aesthetics are amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really made for that world. And we've had, again, it's the first debut of this guitar right here at NAMM. We've had a lot of people come by and do a big double take.
Oh yeah, I mean, your eyes are drawn right to it.
The fact of the matter is Takamine is a huge brand to that market, especially the 12 strings. And now having a guitar, they love the fact that we pay attention and that we're dedicating some of the design aspects to them and to that style of music.
Okay.
That they don't have to do a bunch of mods or worry about the bridge ripping out because of the extra.
You don't have to recut the nut. You don't have to do anything.
There's all kinds of that stuff.
Can I take it down?
Take it down, please, by all means.
I mean, I'm noticing the back and sides with the flame maple.
Yeah, so flame maple back and sides on it. Just a beauty, I like the white, the cream white accents on the rest of this wood.
The neck feels great. I was expecting something massive just for all that pressure.
It's really not.
No, it's really inviting.
No, it plays super well. So we're very excited about that. I want to talk about something else, which is kind of now we're going into throwback land.
Okay.
So,
yes.
So here we have the GF49CE. This is a body style that we don't use that often. The F. It's the FCN body.
Right.
But you've got this sparkly cobalt black finish with the red binding accents. This for Takamine was kind of a throwback to, let's do something that's going to be cool for some 80s stuff, man.
Hell yeah. It looks gorgeous.
It's a great, cool.
Love the red binding.
It's such a cool guitar. Red binding all the way up the neck and to the headstock. It's rock and roll,
Yeah, it is.
And again, who uses acoustic guitars? Everybody uses acoustic guitars.
Every genre.
Look, you can talk to some of the most hardcore death metal, speed metal guys in the world. When they're at home and they're writing stuff, they're picking up an acoustic and they're doing their thing,
Sure.
Trying out new chord progressions, trying out new riffs, This is that guitar right now, man. It's still got the vibe. It's got the rock.
No, it's awesome.
It's got the cool thing. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a pop act and you want to have a cool looking, black guitar with the red on there.
No, the sparkle's really what nails it. And we'll get that in the B-roll because I think people, I mean, you and I standing here, we're looking at it, but when you really see it at an angle, it's unbelievable.
I think it's one of those where when you see it in person, you get a different vibe from it. Absolutely.
And it's such a great machine for keeping your chops up, too. If you're used to playing electric and you want to sit on the couch and play something like that, man, you're really getting it going. And then,
well, I think most of us have been through that process where, I mean, maybe when you're younger, you're actually learning on an acoustic.
Oh, yeah.
And then you pick up that electric guitar and it's like, whoa, speedy up and down the neck. That's a great guitar for that person as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I've got.
Hey, Rob, don't let me interrupt.
Wow.
He's walking right through. He can't bend those knees.
It's okay. I know we have other important dealers here, but
Oh, all right. Well, I think we're done now.
I've interrupted.
Yeah. Everybody, just come on through. You can take a number.
So continuing on, I want to talk about a couple of these new guitars in this Satin Molasses finish. Okay. So it's vibey, it's rustic, it's cool looking. What do you know about Takamine?
That's Mr. Takamine.
It's vibey, it's rustic, it's cool. So we have these new Satin Molasses. We have both the GD21CE and the GY21CE. What's the difference between these guys? GD is a cutaway dreadnought. The Y is our smaller bodied New Yorker shape.
Right. A little bigger than a parlor?
A little bit bigger than a parlor, but, again, don't mistake the small size for small tone.
No.
This is a great guitar. It really speaks back to you, I mean,
I heard it. It was talking to me before.
Hopefully it was being nice.
Yeah, well.
But the point is you could be sitting there, dueling around. It handles the light passages and brings the volume up.
They're really dynamic.
They're super dynamic.
They don't compress as much.
And again, we all know what the process is for a singer-songwriter. You have to have something that complements your voice.
Sure.
Much like microphones, not every mic is going to be perfect for every voice.
Right.
And not every guitar is going to be perfect for every singer, So there's going to be different styles of people. A person's going to work well with a big strum and dreadnought. There's going to be other people doing some light passages on this that still want to have articulation and stand out. And the other thing is, it's just a cool looking finish.
I love it. Yeah, man. It's
people who want to look a little different than your typical natural finish or your burst. It just looks great, super rootsy. A lot of people have been asking for it, and we're happy to deliver this year.
I love it. Now,
Yeah,
before we move on to the next one,
Yes.
I just feel like we should let these people walk through. Moving on. This is a sleek looking guitar. What do we got here?
It is. This is the GN75CE. I'm correctly indicating that there is a cutaway on this guitar.
Whoa.
I know, imagine that. So satin black finish with a tortoise pickguard on there. This is the NEX shape for Takamine. NEX is kind of a mini jumbo. Okay?
Yeah, it's kind of unique to you guys.
It is. It's
Yeah,
a Takamine shape, but it's one that's been incredibly popular for us.
For obvious reasons.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, first of all, nothing against, we sell jumbos too, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But there's something about holding a boat in your hands that not every body and every player it's going to be the best thing for.
Right.
You can't have the guitar fighting you, Really has to feel like it's integrating and you're comfortable while you're playing the instrument.
Right.
So the NEX is that mini jumbo, but still provides a lot of the tonal characteristics of a jumbo.
Big low end, yeah.
Big low
Beautiful.
end, nice and beefy with this big lower bout.
Yeah.
And just a great, singer-songwriter guitar, a great performer guitar. We have people in House of Worship turning to this style quite a lot.
Yeah.
A fantastic instrument. I like the inlays on this model.
Yeah, and I love the brushed the hardware and everything. It's
Yeah.
really subtle, but it's a nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, it's what you said. I mean, if you've already got the satin finish, why not have the brushed hardware to go along
That
with
makes
it?
sense.
I totally agree.
Yeah, man, I love it.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the could be none more pearl white guitars
Well,
down
that's
here?
it, because I'm so used to these models seeing them in black. And
Right.
This seems like the good guy version of that. So let's talk about it.
It's like the white hat. I agree.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
pearl white.
Yeah. So let's
Stunning.
talk about this. Last year we had introduced a couple models in this pearl white finish.
Yeah, it's really sharp.
It's just great. We introduced a 6 and a 12, the GD73CE and 73CE 12.
Right.
Now we're offering that in an NEX body shape. And
Gorgeous.
again, different player, different tonal characteristic, different body style.
Right.
The NEX is going to work for some people. Again, this is a guitar where, so many people could look at this and have this be right for their music.
Heck yeah, I love that finish.
It's beautiful. It reflects stage light very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
A pop player, an R&B player, a worship musician.
Uh-huh.
I mean, a lot of
Slayer.
people. If you want it to be, but if you want to stand out in a crowd
Yeah.
where there's a lot of woody looking stuff,
Yeah.
this is not your your out in the woods guitar. But look at some of the details. It's got that abalone rosette.
It's flawless.
And the white binding with the little mini black line around it, it just looks beautiful.
And the gold hardware. It's just a classy looking machine.
It just looks so good together.
It really does.
Yep. So again, and these are G series guitars. These are affordable guitars that like the average musician could go out and buy tomorrow.
Right.
You know.
And what kind of electronics are we talking about in these?
Well, this is the Takamine TP3G preamp.
Right.
It's got a 3-band EQ volume and a built-in tuner.
Oh, it's great.
And again, you're looking at practicality. You know, what is the most thing that somebody's going to need when they're getting up on stage?
Right.
Little EQ to fit the rest of your band and your mix, making your volume there. And having a tuner, so it's nice and easy to stay in tune with everybody else.
There's no excuse now to be out of tune.
That's kind of an important part of it. Why aren't you in tune? There's a little thing right there.
Because I'm a guitar player.
You got to be better, man. You got to be better, right?
Well, I just noticed the little details on this stuff too. The fit, the finish, the binding, the fretwork, the way the nut is cut. It's like, you expect that from Takamine, but at this price point, it's still impressive.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's why G Series exists. You know, we love our Takamine Pro Series guitars. I play one, Tom plays one, but at the same time, we don't want to take the Takamine name and offer anything with that name on the headstock that doesn't meet the needs of a real working musician.
Sounds good to me.
That's what it's all about. Takamine makes it easy to do the thing that you want to do, whether that's create, perform, record, whatever it is. That's what Takamine is all about.
Mission accomplished, man. That looks great.
Thank you.
And thank you for showing all of this stuff.
My pleasure, man.
I appreciate it.
We love the AMS folks. We love the your loyal customer base, and we love the fact that they understand what Takamine is all about as well.
Absolutely, and we had to traverse this very busy, all of a sudden it got really busy in here. That's like a convention.
Maybe it's you guys.
All right, this is Ryan back from AMS, and we have Tom here from Takamine Guitars, and he knows more about these things than anybody. So he's going to walk us through our 2025 limited run. Every year they do a limited run, and this is no exception. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, so like you say, every year we do a limited edition. Oftentimes we've had themes on it.
Yep.
And this year the theme is kind of a timeless thing. They didn't call it timeless because that, you know, how does that translate or something like that? But, you know, the green finish on Engelmann spruce, one of the nice things about doing a finish on Engelmann spruce, if you've ever looked at Engelmann, like if you think about like Dave Matthews' Engelmann guitar, you always see one side of it looks dark and the other side of it looks
why
light.
is that?
Because of the runoff from the light.
Oh, okay.
So anytime you can put a finish on it, it will make it look more consistent. So we did this beautiful, they call this antique evergreen.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And there's a theme going on with antique and timeless and that sort of thing on this. So antique evergreen is the finish. We do some beautiful you know, Koa back and sides.
Beautiful.
Excellent tortoiseshell binding.
Yeah, that's sharp.
Very, very less used these days. And then they do these brass inlays on it. And the inlays are designed to patina, you know, because they want this thing to have
brass, yeah.
Well, and it also want this to have that kind of timeless thing.
Right.
So that's basically it. It's a beautiful guitar.
It's stunning.
You know,
and the finish is so thin. It looks like a violin almost. It's beautiful,
We really do. I mean, finishes are probably like, you know, less than 8 mils.
And especially on an acoustic guitar. You really want that thing to sing. It's gorgeous.
And it's hard finish too, so it will vibrate earlier. You know, it's not like nitro, which to me is, oftentimes people say nitro is a preferred and superior finish.
Yeah. Sometimes.
I'm not sure about that.
The jury's out.
Really, I always think of it as nitro is kind of softer and you know,
more temperamental.
More temperamental, but it almost never dries. It's always kind of moving.
It does get sticky, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily like you feel it's sticky, but it does move.
For sure.
And because it's softer, it's not going to vibrate as good as something hard and brittle.
That makes sense, yeah.
You know, not that this is brittle.
Not at all, but I did chip a tooth on it before.
Yeah, okay, well, that's good. Don't bite the guitars.
Not anymore. I learned my lesson. Anyway. Well, thank you, man.
But yeah, that's it for this year, and we'll be getting, I think 30 some odd. They're making 300 for the world.
Oh, we got them on order. I'm excited.
Okay, awesome.
Looks great. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. We'll thank Jeff, Tom, and Blue. And to check out all these ESP guitars and, of course, Takamine guitars, check us out at AmericanMusical.com.